This is C Fiasco and Chill Will. The following is spoiler heavy. So if you haven't figured that out and you're still surfing the internet for Witcher content, be prepared.
Why haven't you watched it already, bro? It's out. It's on Netflix. All eight episodes. Go ahead and peep, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing, bro.
1, 2. You know what I'm saying? Do it.
You're wasting your life.
Leave. Go watch it. December 20th was yesterday, so you already know what fucking time it is. You already know what time it is. It's Witcher. Henry Cavill or Cavill, I don't know how to pronounce it. UM, Chill, C Fiasco.
The W's for Witcher, bitch.
Me in here. Witcher, Netflix, just dropped yesterday. We're here to recap episode 1. Or talk episode 1, break it down however you want to
let's specify we talk in episode 1. So anyone in the comments ready to take the heads off, this is straight off the dome. Don't come for us.
Facts. Witcher, episode 1, the end's beginning. Let's talk about it, bro.
Overall, Phil, I was very excited for this series. If you saw our previous video, it was more about our worries.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
My nigga was up there big.
I was so I was really excited for this series because if you haven't seen our video before,
the trailer?
The trailer.
It was the trailer, man. We were just showing, we were excited about it. We had some concerns.
Two Witcher fans of the games.
I've read a couple of the books. I'm not gonna say I'm an aficionado.
You went hard on those books.
I read a couple, it takes me a couple times to retain the information, so I'm gonna be reaching a little bit. If I get the details wrong, please don't kill us, just correct us in the comments.
This episode starts out with Geralt pretty much
pursuing his dinner.
Or finishing a job. He goes to a local town where he right away meets one woman that seems kind of like very about her business, and is established very early that Geralt is known as a mutant and not exactly like seen in the best light.
Yeah, he's not. They don't receive him well. I believe this series, and I think the books may have meant it. It's a lot of like, is it social commentary? Would you say?
Yeah, for sure.
It's more on like race relations, just basically anybody different than you. So this could have been a hulking character. It could have been outlaws, like westerns. You come in, they know you're trouble. They don't want you there. That's the feel I got soon as Geralt came through the doors.
Well, that and prejudice.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of even in the books, there's a lot of whether it's mutants, witches, or
anyone different
is already getting the scorn. We meet a townsgirl who leads him to a enchanted tower. Geralt entered said tower and meets a mage named
Stregobor.
Stregobor.
That's who it is. Stregobor. I'm sorry, but the names. These names are unique.
No, it's Polish names, bro.
Like it's a lot to even reading the books. I'm like, what's that name?
Stregobor.
I'm on the audio books, and I'm still having to go back. Like, what's that name? But he's posing as Master Irian. Okay, so she ends up taking on the Master Irian because she's like, "Hey, man, we didn't want a Kikimora. We were looking for something else.
Yeah,
I'll take you to Master Irian." Takes him up to Master Irian. Turns out to be Stregobor,
who enlisted a Witcher's help to help him deal with a problem. So
we gotta back up. What happened when Geralt got there? It was like a enchant.
You're talking about the origin? Like, it wasn't even an orgy. It was
It was
like a harem.
It was an illusion.
Illusion of a harem.
A palace. You come in. It's a bunch of naked people, bro. Just not just females. It's a bunch of naked people in an indoor castle garden type of feel.
He's like, yo, makes the time go by easier. I felt him with that. I wouldn't have chose that exact. But for me, it'd be like Tron with light cycles going all over the place, so it makes the work go by fast.
You want to know what would have really helped this scene? And something that you put me onto that's not in the series? The medallion. The medallion would have known that this was an illusion.
My medallion's vibrating strongly. Can only mean one thing. Magic.
The audience could have had a visual.
We're just going through.
All right.
We're just going through. Stregobor enlists the Witcher's help to take out what he calls mutant women born under the Black Sun. So basically women that were born, and it's unknown whether it's just prejudice or stereotype to believe that these women born of the Black Sun are mutated, or they actually are.
I thought they just had powers. That's why I was a little confused. The show, it didn't really explain it too much. Were they just mutated, or did they have powers? I thought they had like witch type powers.
Well, it was saying that humans can't be immune to magic without a mutation. Yeah. So there was a mutation, but whether that mutation made them actually like feral or evil is still up to audience interpretation. That's how I felt for it. He realizes after this that this is Renfi, the woman he met at the bar. They get to exchanging ideas, and there's a lot of talk of Geralt's destiny. Then it's sort of, and not in this order, but it sort of switches storylines to a princess named Cirilla, who is in the land of Sintra, who is getting used to her duties as a princess. And you get to feel that she doesn't want to be caged because she's kind of sneaking out to go to the market to play a game of dice, coming back and then...
Very Aladdin feel. I got Aladdin feels all... I'm like, she's a street rat.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw her, she looked important.
You were looking for the monkey with the hat in the back, weren't you?
Yeah, she just look. You can look in her eyes, and I was like, she's something. These two things don't belong together, or what is it? This doesn't belong.
One of these things.
It just did not work for me. I'm like, okay, all right, I see what you're doing.
She's drawn back to the castle, and they are, we have the Queen
Calanthe, and then I forget the gentleman's name.
Iced.
Iced.
They converse. You get the feeling that Cirilla doesn't like her being bondaged in this sort of princess type atmosphere. Jumps back to Geralt. Renfi comes back, and they start talking about ideas of like what is a monster and debating ideas of the lesser evil.
Yes.
There are a lot of, I want to say, philosophical concepts such as predestiny, the lesser evil, and the power of choice that go hand in hand.
Like who deserves to die, who deserves to live.
Exactly. Jumps back to Cirilla in the castle on a night where they're having a feast. Everyone's having a good time.
This is all going as fast as we're saying it.
This is going.
I know we are speeding, but this is going here. None of this is in my opinion, none of this is firmly established.
Yeah.
Just jumping from point to point to point.
Don't kill us for not delivering this right. This is how it is delivered.
It really goes that fast.
Like a black dude with
out of nowhere,
with straight afro. Like he was looking. He was just like, "What up, bro?"
Homie he's like, "Hey, bro, I gotta let you know some shit's kind of popping off. We gotta, yeah. Nilfgaard, they're out here, bro. They out here, bro."
He said they in here. This
bad Nilfgaard.
This is what everyone is afraid of. They've been highlighting it during the episode. It kind of goes out
a looming threat
to the army scene right away, where these two armies are. Sintra, with the kingdom Cirilla's from, they're all donned in like silver and gold, and they're like lined up, and they got a pretty impressive army. They look over the horizon,
the black ones,
and they see the black ones like the plague going. It was a really cool scene. They come over there and they're ready to bang.
We don't mean the black ones by the black people that we come from the games, and in the games they reference the black ones, and it's never a bunch of black people. I'm gonna go ahead and make that clear. It's never. They call the Nilfgaardians the black ones, but we know them as that.
There's someone already on Twitter like they just said. Oh.
Yeah. So the Nilfgaards come over, decked out in all black, looking super intimidating over the hill.
From a closer hill, we see that is their backup army.
Yeah.
Their army that's ready to fight is already close.
You haven't even seen me at full strength.
Yeah. It's not even my final form.
We got y'all straight up Game of Thrones. This is the Game of Thrones vibes that they were talking about in the pre's and all everybody who viewed it before it came out.
Exactly.
This is it. It was very visceral, quite brutal.
It's obvious that Sintra, where Cirilla's kingdom, is losing, as Ice says as such, and is taken out.
Chai. Straight 9. Who went out? My homie Wan R.I.P. Wan from Game of Thrones, man, the giant. Got arrow to the eye, bro. Out.
Yeah, he took it.
Took him out. Calanthe freaks out. For some reason, takes off her helmet, even though arrows are flying. She just saw her man's.
We just giving orders, bro.
This is how it happens. She battle cries, screams at the army on the looming hill. Cut to another flashback to Geralt.
This philosophical debate heats up to the point where Geralt kind of feels a way, or feels a kinship to her, because her destiny was thrust upon her and her choice was taken away, which we get the feeling that Geralt hates the thought of destiny as they keep recanting this whole phrase of the girl's in the woods, she's your destiny.
This is where you get his Geralt's, like you said, his philosophy of I'm not sure if I'm rocking with destiny.
Yeah, you don't. He's just on the path. He's just chilling. They end up sleeping together. They bump uglies.
Of course, I knew. Soon as I saw Geralt, I saw her. I'm like, they gonna smash, bro. She want him the chin, the chisel. I mean, he feels that suit out great. She had to get in there.
Cirilla, seeing that her grandmother had lost the battle, and she's now at death's door, telling her all these like family bond things. We see that they have a house mage called Mousak.
I think it's Mousak.
Mousak is a devoted house mage. He tries to hold the gates as long as they could with the spell.
He has a great man bun, right?
Yeah, you get the man bun and the full beard. Had a nice like gold decked out fruffle.
My man was clean.
He was. But ultimately, there's too much pressure. This army's too huge.
They're at the gates, bro. At this point, they're at the gates.
They're knocking. Cuts back to Geralt, who wakes up alone in the forest because Renfi has gone to the market after promising him that she would leave town.
He's been drugged.
Yeah.
Clearly, he wakes up. Everything's disorientated. He's like, bruh.
Yeah.
She slipped him one.
Yeah.
What is it? What did Rick Ross say? She put Molly all in his drink and he ain't even know it.
If you asking me for a Rick Ross quote,
bro, he ain't even know it. He wakes up confused.
He's right away. Renfi.
Yeah.
He books it. He gets to town. The men that are loyal to Renfi are already waiting for this dude. They give him this spiel about she knew you would come. Here's your ultimatum. Here's where you can shove that shit. And they fight. It's a
showdown effect, man. They're on this side. Geralt's coming up. You know, we gotta get it on, bro.
Geralt had such a hood line when you realize that negotiations have failed. Yeah. He's like, yo, where is she at? Let's chill. They're like, no, fuck you. And he just turns around like, fuck. And if you've ever been in a fight with more than one person, that's how you feel. You're like, yo, go home, stop talking all that neck. And they're like, blah, blah, blah. You're like, fuck.
He already knew how this was gonna end. He just didn't want to get his boots bloody. I'm telling you, my man was like, hey, fam, I'm trying to be clean. I just took a bath.
You can't be the white wolf.
He takes forever to take. He be stinky, lice, everything, man. He was like, I just bathed up, bro. I'm not trying to get bloody again.
I feel it.
But he had to get down, and boy, did he get down.
Got down, he did.
If you don't watch anything, watch the fight scenes.
Battle comes down to Renfi, who said, you made a choice and is ready to box or ready to battle. They cross swords reluctantly on Geralt's side, who has many chances to kill her but doesn't actually complete the deed until she tries to go for him a third or fourth time, and he finally turns her own pointy knife on her and guts her in the throat.
Pure reflex. It was so smooth.
Stregobor shows up, is elated that she's dead. And
she's been hunting him. This has been the girl that's been after him.
Right.
Chasing him town to town to town. He finally found a spot he thought he was cool.
Let it be said that he did do horrible things to this chick.
Yes.
He sent a man for her to be, and the man ended up raping and robbing her. He did experiments on her and other girls like her.
He tried to kill her.
Yeah, he tried to kill her. He's not a good dude. But he's happy as fuck that she's done.
He wants to exhume the body. Not exhume, he wants the autopsy.
Right away.
Right away.
He calls for his little helper to get the body. Geralt.
Not having it, bro.
Seeing that.
Sword out at your neck, bro.
Oh, dude, he laid it on him. He did that Bane.
Don't touch her.
He said don't
touch her.
Stregobor, seeing that he's going to be outwits Geralt by turning the whole town against him and pretty much saying, you butchered these people. They all start stoning him, and the girl who he saved ends up telling him he needs to get out of town.
I want to know why she was the person to tell him to get out. The least threatening person coming up to you. You need to leave town now. Fuck you mean? I just got through battling.
Yeah.
I'll fuck up all you. I just killed all these dudes on
with
nothing.
With a flick of the wrist.
And I did a little bit of magic. Like I did a little bit.
I think that was meant for a narrative choice of saying that no matter how good you do, people's prejudice always kind of win over. That's how shitty the world is.
It's another area. That end part, I have an issue with it, but we'll shelve that for later.
It cuts back to Cirilla, who is making her escape from the castle. All of her protectors fall to the wayside.
She had one with her, right?
She had the mage who left her to go do something, and then the one guy riding on horseback was taken out by the same Black Arrowman that shot Ice in the eye.
But she was the one, I think she, I remember them riding and she had Black Canary type, but she just started screaming.
Yeah, dude.
She just starts like screaming and, Sindel and Black Canary style just screaming and causing disorientation and force, almost a little bit of force from that scream.
Right.
I was like, is this her major power? Are they shifting it? I don't know. But yeah, she screams her way out that situation. Guy tries to get her so he can get her back in the carriage. Screams him away, and she's in the woods now.
Splits the land.
Yeah.
Like, and it seems to be,
that was very weird. It's like earthquake type.
well, it seemed to be triggered by emotion, and if we're only going from the games because I haven't made it that far in the books, like, she did have that power after developing, that kind of. Like,
So this was like an outburst power?
I think it's just to show you that there's something weird about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was meant to tell you any more about it. I think you're supposed to have this feeling.
I just believe the emphasis on the scream was too much. It made it seem like that's her major thing was the scream.
You're right.
I kept hearing the sounds they do when it's a disorientation.
Because she started using it to run away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
It was like it was a weapon she was using.
Yeah. So then she runs in the woods. The end.
Is that the end?
Yeah, it's pretty much the end.
I don't know. I'll get it back to you. You said, what's your first impressions? Then we'll break it down from the beginning to end.
Overall, it was good.
Yeah.
It was a good fan. What do you call it? A good fan service production.
Yeah.
Like, it gave a lot of what any fan of the Witcher lore, as well as any fan of fantasy, it gave you what you wanted. It had all the highlights. So that, I'm gonna give it the thumbs up. I would watch again. I have watched that episode like 2 or 3 times.
I've only seen it once. Honestly, off first watch, I liked about half of it. About 30 minutes of it, I was into it. That second half, I was like,
Okay.
And it's only because I read the books, and I think that may have been a detriment to the show, because I probably should have went in blind. Because now I know what happens over here, and it's kind of like the people from the Harry Potter, the Lord of the Rings people, the Star Wars, you know what I mean? It's all that. I'm going into it with preconceived notions.
What did you find that was good about it?
First off, Henry, bro.
Man of Steel.
Oh my God.
Superman.
Mind you, I haven't seen the hit Superman in action, but I've seen clips or whatever. But he has he has Geralt of Rivia down, bro.
I agree.
Every single part snaps. When he's on screen, I'm here for this. This is why I came over. The series is called The Witcher, right? That's why I came, and he delivered, bro. We'll get to that later.
Salute.
We'll get to that later, man. I had concerns before, and I will admit, I did say I saw Statham myself, because when you look at the game, because I'm coming from the games first, his build is more of a Statham build. You told me, it was like, hey man, to fill out that suit and to swing that sword, you kind of got to be a little bit more built.
Yeah.
Once I saw it, I visualized it. Now I see I was clearly wrong.
You saw the vision.
Jeez.
You saw the vision. You know the vibes. Gritty nature.
Yeah.
Of how it was filmed. I was very concerned that they would go with like that. When it's those fantasy scenes and they have like that pop. Lord of the Rings, when they were at like the Elven table, and everything was nice and highlighted and oversaturated. Over fantasy, you know what I'm saying? That bubbly feel. I didn't want that because
like harps and whatnot, and
because coming from the games,
effect. Yep.
It was all dreary and like nothing was really that good.
Oh, if you haven't played The Witcher, you need to get in there because those games are dark, man. It's dark. There is some contrast when you go to different places, but overall, the series is very dark, man. It's dark, it's dreary, it's very. The brutality was there. I'll tell you that. The brutality when the action did happen.
Yeah.
It hit.
So that another point of what was good, you would say the action.
Action on point. I have no complaints.
So we're talking about that whole market sword fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
was a really good point when the whole slow-mo point of view and like the ferocity of Cavill throwing blades. Like when he would go and attack with 2 blades.
Yeah. You felt it.
I don't know if they sped that up or if he's moving that fast, but that was crazy.
It was an action scene that wasn't over exaggerated like Matrix style. Because you know Matrix gets into the weird cameras, it pans crazy. Like no, it was very simple. It slowed up and you saw what he was about to do.
Yeah.
If you played the games, when you're playing as Geralt, you feel like a badass. The weight of the way he swings the sword, the way he comes out with the sign in between just to split the, you know what I'm saying, split the opposing people coming at him. It worked.
It was good. I even especially like when he used the art sign, because it was just how the camera went behind him and he had the slow, you felt that it was like this grimacing, that gruff Geralt when he's pushed too far, if you're familiar with the games or the books at this point. Yeah. When he's pushed too far, that persona or that part of him comes out. So he's rolling up and then he gives him like, it was almost like a dance move. He's like, he bumped the brakes on him.
I'm gonna give a little peek. If you read the books, you know the training that witches go through. You saw every bit of that training in this first fight scene.
Yeah.
The way he pirouettes out of shots, the way he hit the, like, what was it, Quinn was the sign? Or Ard. The way he hit Ard, it was very quick. It wasn't exact, boom, hit that sign. Even the way the blades went through people.
Dude, the way he
oh my God.
took it by the hilt and threw it into my man who fired that crossbow. Yeah. He just chucked it. Oh, Zeus.
And then the way he finished it off, killing the main man talking.
Yeah. He looked in his eyes. He reflected and remembered. It was terrible.
I wonder when he knew he fucked up. That's what I want to know.
Oh, did that dude?
When did he know he fucked up?
When he saw all his friends give, he just saw Tasmanian Devil go through his friends.
Jesus.
And he was just sitting there like, oh, he's saving me.
The White Wolf, Geralt of Rivia is a dog. And I'm sure if they did this is early, it has to go up from here. That's what I'm assuming. It has to go up from here.
From the first episode, and tonight we're actually gonna watch the second one and film another one of these.
Yes.
So first impression from this point is I'm very satisfied. They did enough to draw me in, and I'm here for the long ride.
I think we skipped over something. The way this shit started, very calm.
Oh yeah.
On the swamp, so you know it's dirty, grimy, nighttime. You don't feel safe out there. You shouldn't be out there.
Nah.
You see a deer. All of a sudden, something happens. Geralt and this Kikimora, I believe it's a Kikimora, big spider type creature. They're fighting each other, getting in, getting active. Of course, he ends up battling the epic battle, ends up killing it. But bro, I did not think they was gonna hit us with an action right off the top.
How do you feel about the potion phase?
I love it. Okay. At first, I was worried because I come from the game side. I just got into the book, so I came from the game side first. I don't remember his eyes going dark. I do remember the skin getting discolored
with the veins.
I do remember that part. I don't remember, but I like the eyes. It clearly lets me know he's in a trance. Yeah, something is going on. It is
a very effective way in film to let you know that he's on another level at this point.
Facts. He was doing some different shit, and when he killed it, I was like, just another contract off the list, bro.
Especially like the tone that set. Like you were saying, the swamp and the deer, because it showed you this innocent deer was just trying to get a drink of water, and suddenly it's Geralt's meal.
Yep.
So it already sets the tone for what series you're in. Like if you're new to The Witcher, you're already like, this is gonna be this is gonna be like a half tearjerker, half like fanfare kind of festival.
Brutality is part of it, bro.
Yeah.
I'm here.
But now, what didn't you like?
Oh man.
The list is equally as long, right?
Oh man. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry, I gotta bring it back.
I love the negativity.
Major character who we are supposed to feel some sort of kinship, Renfrey. She was dropped in right off the bat. When he came into the bar, she was actually like the person who, her crew tried to fight him, and she was like, no, that's my man.
Right.
Stepped in. Like, the way that was introduced, it seemed a bit haphazard, a bit not purposeful. It was done weird. It was like it was done for convenience sake, if that makes any sense.
That makes sense, yeah.
It didn't seem. I think they could have wrote that a little bit better. I can't say exactly how. Maybe follow the books a little bit more. Then the odd comedy when they went back to the first time we see Ciri, the first time she's in the Calanthes in the throne talking to some people.
Yeah.
And they're just having this weird commentary in the back, some jokey joke. You know, I'm like, who is this? What's going on?
I'm okay with the narrative tool of showing that Ciri wasn't meant for. She didn't like her princess.
Yeah, I didn't. It didn't make it clear that
Right.
she wasn't meant.
Right.
I guess the Aladdin thing that happened in the beginning was supposed to be a part of it, but I just didn't make it clear that she didn't want to do this.
Yeah, I get that.
You know, it just seemed like she was just a spoiled princess.
Yeah, it came off.
That's
that
the
way.
feel I got, and I know it may take a couple more episodes for me to feel it, but it just seemed a bit off. My biggest gripe. This is the one. This is the one that bugged me.
This is the big one.
The battle. 30 minutes in. It was about 31, I think. I had it marked down about 31 minutes in. The big battle for Central. Why should I care about this? We had scenes, I don't even think they were totaling over 5 minutes in total, maybe 10.
Yeah.
With these people, and now we're already in battle and I'm supposed to care. And how am I supposed to believe these two people can fight really good? Because I didn't see them fight really good. They seem they're out there in valiant positions and very important spots,
Yeah.
leading things, and I didn't see them fight good.
Well,
And why should I care about this?
to your point.
We jumped from there to boom.
Yeah.
We didn't feel earned. Like normally when you get a battle like this, you probably want to touch on it, leave a little time, let it breathe for a second, then come back.
Or
Maybe
let that
circle-
be its own. Let that be its own like 20-minute thing.
Yeah, for sure. Or you could have did this at the top of an episode because like now, oh, I remember that. But it's like it just did not feel earned, and I did not care. The death of what's the gentleman's name?
Ice.
I
felt that a little bit.
I just didn't. Because I didn't like his little corny jokes they were doing in the throne room or wherever they were. And then you're supposed to be so brilliant at this, and I know it's emotions, but why would you he just got shot in the eye. You're going to take the helmet off.
It's this kind of, I have most of the stuff that we've talked about that you have a gripe with, I agree.
Yeah.
The battle, I'll give you, there's no weight to what
None.
Nilfgaard meant. There was no weight to what exactly that was. Like they mentioned their name and that they were scared of them, and there's a battle.
Yeah.
So you really didn't, you're still at this point, which is, you said 30 minutes in.
Yeah.
Still trying to figure out what's going on, which works in like movies where there's a payoff coming. At the 2-hour mark, you're gonna get a payoff to why that was a thing. In a series, it sucks, which might speak to why they dropped 8 episodes right off the bat.
We're jumping between Geralt and Ciri constantly.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure even at the same time period. It could be very different. So we're jumping between two, and then you introduce this important battle. Because if you know, I know from the books, Sintra, that's important.
Yeah.
That's an important moment. It just seemed a bit rushed to me. And I know I'm heavily negative, and I guess it's for people who didn't know, but it just seems very rushed. I did not care about that scene at all.
No, I agree with not having the weight of why that battle happened. As far as like the battle going down, I don't think I found too much to gripe about. It was good action. There was like good severed, and like the point of it was only to show that, hey, it's going down, they're losing.
And just because I was disappointed, it was a very good scene. Outside of outside of the eye and then the screen, it was a very good scene the way it played out. I was just like,
what?
Give me like the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, what's happening?
Yeah, like what? Okay, yeah. Calanthe is still alive because I'm assuming she ran into there because she screamed and ran out.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me either.
How?
When they said someone was alive back, I thought they were going to introduce someone else that made it back to tell her that everyone died.
And then she made it back and she lingered for a while.
Yeah, she was chilling.
She was chilling. You know how people on the last, I'm bleeding, we can't stop it. That went on for a couple different scenes.
Yeah, it was full nighttime.
I'm like, what? So, Calanthe, salute to her, bro.
Yeah, she was taking.
She hung in there, bro. She hung in there. But yeah, I think that was my main things that got me, man. It was just my overall feel of the first episode, and I watched that last night. I only seen it once. A lot of things seem rushed. I'm okay that they're switching this around, moving this here, but it's the rushing, the pacing. They say they're like Game of Thrones, like a lot of people are comparing it. Well, take note, when you rush things, it doesn't turn out well. It doesn't get
Yeah.
received well.
Yeah.
That whole last season was rushed. I just don't want to see that happen. But I'm only one episode in, so.
This is, those are gripes that I like because they're just, if you're a person just watching, just new to the lore.
And that's how I tried to put myself in that mindset.
And that was good. For both of us, I think the biggest problem is we both read The Last Wish.
Yeah.
So we know what this story is from.
Amazing book.
The fact that, and this is where I'm going to go a little bit, I know that it's going to get a little bit
Jump
heat.
out. Jump out the
It's
window.
going to get a little bit of heat.
I'm going with you.
I think there was such a push to have a female narrative that they jumped the gun by going to Rimfi, which is a good story once the basis of Geralt's character is established, but is a weaker story by itself. It seemed like the push to put Ciri, who we can only guess right now, the timelines are weird. Because
I don't think they match.
Well, because there's no way she can be that age and them all know about Geralt of Rivia and then have this story where only like one person knows about him.
They're books in, at least 2 or 3 books in before you even get to her.
Right.
Before you even get to her.
And in The Last Wish, the first story is about Geralt. How they introduce him is perfect. He walks into a bar and everyone hates him. They kind of leaned on that for this story.
Starts off the same beats up to that point.
And then Rimfi comes in. When this one, it was a whole story about a incestuous relationship between royalty and a Striga, which results in Geralt being mortally wounded right off the bat.
Yes.
To the point and then introducing more of his morality and character as he's like recuperating, which was a perfect intro. To me, it felt like they needed to have strong female leads so bad that they went over a narrative that would have been more cohesive to get Rimfi in there right away. And to get a character who, like the Last Wish, she was on par with it. Not on par with them, but she could cross swords with them for a bit.
Oh yeah, dude. That's why it takes time. Because if you would have gave her character the time to breathe, it didn't even have to be 2 episodes, 2-3 episodes. Just let it play out for a second. They just like, hey, here's her. Now she's important. It was just jumping around so much, man.
Yeah, him falling for her and the effect she seems to have on her seems like it's really fast paced, and it seemed almost done just to have a female that was his equal, to be honest. Because in the books, she does get some nicks on him, but the fight doesn't last that long.
Yeah, and it's almost, you get the feel if it was going on because he just didn't want to. He knew how it was going to end, and he didn't want to do it. So he was trying to give her every single out, like, hey man, you see this is happening, please stop. Just go. And then he ended it when he had to.
Yeah, but I don't think you needed to throw Cirilla in there with, as you said, the jump cuts. I'm surprised you didn't bring that up.
Man, I was so upset by that.
That bothered the shit. I didn't know what, like, it was just like boom, boom. And I'm like, I don't even think I know what's going on. And the only reason I could make sense of what was going on, the only reason we had this theory of time being different is because we had back knowledge of the books. Yeah. God help you if you just jumping into this.
If you're a newbie, you have no idea.
You don't know what you're just like, yo, is this the same time? How does he know about her? How do they know about this? Like, how is Geralt famous enough to reach a queen way over here? Yeah. In this episode, no one knows him. Like, a lot of things seem like a forced decision for the sake of inclusivity, to get more people to watch, get more people to be okay with the show.
I believe that, I think I read something. They're trying to bring another character's story up to the level of Geralt's. When they have an epic story of their own, the thing is, the timings are different.
Yeah, you don't
to establish one, you have to let that go. You can't do multiple big stories.
Yeah.
Like Game of Thrones does it, salute to them. That's rare. That's
no, but
very rare that they can pull off.
Even Jon Snow took time to build. And can I say another thing? Netflix is the one that put this narrative out that they were the new Game of Thrones. To me, it seems like
clearly they reached for it.
With Ciri, they're trying to make a new Daenerys, and like with Geralt, they're trying to make a new Jon Snow. Yeah. And it comes off to me more of, we were talking about this earlier, Divergent. Yeah. That kind of like teen bopper kind of thing.
Yeah, they're trying to. It seems like they're kind of I hate the term, but it works trying to dumb it down, or trying to make it more consumable.
Yeah.
Make it so more people, more casuals, people who don't know the Lord can catch on to it. But I think, guys, you guys missed it because you shot so many different ways. You jumped, like the jump cuts. They were so frequent. How can you keep up with the story?
If you're a fresh person,
Like,
I don't know how you can do it.
I don't know the books, but I just recently went through them and I'm still confused on what's going on.
Yeah.
Via this
Same.
story. It's
almost like it's counting on you to give it a chance.
Yeah.
To make sense of the story. And I don't think you can do that with like a pilot episode. Like, you can't just be like, if you stay around for the season.
You know what I think they did, and why they timed it December the 20th? Because they knew the holidays was around. 8 episodes
People
dropped
are
all
gonna
at
be
once.
forced to sit with it.
They were banking on people binging this. That's exactly what they're doing. They're banking on people binging it.
Facts.
Because otherwise, I think if this was a weekly release, I guarantee you the story would have been different, or at least it would have been sequenced different.
No one's gonna come the next week. Besides the
They
core
wouldn't have
audience.
came back.
No.
They wouldn't. People would not. You can't tell me you watched that first one. Even if you love the fight scene, that you're gonna come back just glued to your seat. Like, I can't wait to see what's gonna happen because you have no idea what's going on.
Will Garrett be okay? But yeah, that's how we felt about it.
Yeah. I still recommend it, man. Like, it's still dope.
But I don't know if that's the Witcher fan in me or a fan of the show. I do recommend it, but I don't know if you need to like get some more, like read a book or something to get it. But
I'll be honest, I'm recommending it as a fan of the lore, games, and books. Give it a chance. I think it may, even though I'm only 1-2 episodes, I think it'll come around, man. Just give it a chance, because I was like that when I first started the game. It was incredibly difficult. I kept playing.
Facts.
It paid off, man. So just
big.
give it a chance. Give it a chance.
That C Fiasco.
Chill.
Yeah. Unpopular media.
You win.
Let us know what you think in the comments. Subscribe if you got a chance. Drop a like. Keep them algorithms happy.
Please like, subscribe, share, all that, man.
Other than that, we're gonna watch 2 right now and come right back to this room. So be prepared for our next video.
Let us know theories in the comments, what you got going on, what you think, what you did not like.
I do want to hear the theory.
Yes, if you agree with us, if you disagree with us, what do you think of the fight scene? Chill out.